Christian Trailblazer. Welcome to Trailblazing with Consolata. And oh my goodness, if you love all the juicy guans, everything juicy, this is your place too because I love a good story. Not only so, but I love love so much. So today we're going to be talking about 5 dating mistakes that we usually make. And you know what? I'm probably guilty of all of this, but I'm just going to get right into it. The first thing that we do usually as girls is that we jinx this thing by telling everybody about it. I, for example, I love love. I love being in love. I love seeing people being in love. I love everything to do with love, and sometimes I just can't keep a good thing to myself. So I end up telling a few friends, and before the relationship has even become a relationship, when it's just like pre-dating phase, sometimes it just dies in seed form simply because I would have told a million people. And sometimes I don't know how that just does it, but then it just kills it. You just jinx the relationship before it has actually come to be. So sometimes just keeping your cool, maybe tell one or two really close friends, and then you don't tell the rest of the world. That would be a really great thing to do so that you don't jinx the relationship, you don't kill the relationship that is in seed form, or you just make sure that you keep your life private so that not everyone has to know what's really going on in your life. But sometimes it's just so hard to keep to yourself. But yes, that is a dating mistake that we make. We jinx relationships whilst they're still so tiny and in seed form. The second thing that we do is that we ignore red flags. For example, we don't really have like a physical checkbox where we like tick everything that that person has got, but then some people are so particular about the things that they're looking forward to having in their relationship or generally in their husband. So sometimes even pre-dating, we have this thing whereby we're willing to accommodate everything that that person does, to the extent that we ignore the important things. For example, how someone just snaps out of nowhere. There are some people that just overreact to everything. They're impatient, they are always angry, or they just mistreat people. And simply because you want to be in a relationship with this person, or you feel like they're your world at that point in time, you ignore all the really great signs, or that person that just snaps in such a way that you really know that if you're gonna get married at some point, this guy literally has the potential to hit me. But simply because we want to be in the comfort and in the port of being in a relationship, we ignore such important things, and sometimes we end up crying and we are hurt and we are broken. But things like being late, like there's some people that are really usually late, and if it's really like the first days of dating, you obviously want to impress your partner, and so you try to be on time. But if they're already gonna be late, then it means that it's really gonna be terrible. So those are some of the things that you want to look at. Some are really prayerful and they want prayer warriors, but sometimes you want to change a person. You tell yourself that I will change him, I will teach him how to pray, or I will teach her how to pray or to study the word. But sometimes you're not going to be able to change a person simply because you're not God. You are just not God. And so make sure that that is not one of the dating mistakes that you make, which is getting into a relationship with someone whose red flags you have seen but you decide to shove under the carpet. The third thing that we do is that we sabotage our own relationships. For example, you know how we as women, or generally in general, how people can be so insecure, or how you let your past keep you from fully and truly loving someone. You know how you can be insecure about how the guy in your past relationship told you that your tummy is not flat enough, or you have popping pimples on your face, but this guy who has come to you at this particular point likes you as you are. Why would he ask you out if you didn't appreciate those popping pimples on your face? But now you keep thinking about what the your ex said, and then you can't move on to loving this person that's right here in front of you and that wants to love you as you are. And so sometimes you sabotage these relationships, and then they die before they've even grown. And sometimes we let our past, how we've been hurt by our past exes, not only so, we let our emotions, how we were raised, determine the progression of our relationships. And sometimes it's just not right. Or how, for most guys, some of us, some people have been abused, and you just feel like every man can abuse you. So sometimes we have to let go of our past so that we can hold on to the good things that are happening in our lives. And also, this one thing that my friends always say that we are we usually do is that we can't believe in a too good to be true kind of situation. Sometimes I've met really nice guys. I've met a really nice guy who is literally so perfect, like not perfect perfect, but then someone that's really good. Oh my god, someone that's really good, like really really good. But then you begin to calculate, what if this happens, what if I do this, what if something, like your what ifs. Of course you have to watch out for the red flags, but then you don't have to be so paranoid that what if he does what my last boyfriend did to me, what if he does what my uncle did to me, what my brother did to me, what Ningi Ningi did to me. So sometimes we just have to let go of our past and hold on to the beautiful things that are currently happening in our lives. We also lose ourselves when we get into relationships. We forget who we are as an individual, and that is really something that just breaks us, because when the relationship finally ends, you realize that you no longer have any friends. At some point I got into a relationship, I lost contact with all of my friends, and when we finally broke up, I had to start all over again to look for new friends and sort of like get those friends back. But then it can just never be the same. So when we get into relationships, we should not forget those friends that were always there for us before this guy or this girl came along. We should always maintain good relationships with our family, with our friends. If your new partner really loves you, it means that they're going to try to fit in to your already existing world, not that they have to be your world. What if when that world of him or her gets broken? What's gonna happen? You literally remain alone. There's no one to comfort you, there's no one to be there with you to strengthen you during such tough times. Or even when you begin to fight in your relationship, you don't have anyone to go to who can actually assist you. So how about you keep your family and friends around you, so that you remain yourself, you keep traveling, keep finding yourself, keep going on dates, keep doing great things outside of your relationship, so that you know what, whatever happens, you still got your life outside of that man. I'm not saying that you should not begin to be serious or think about really investing into your future with this particular guy, but then also have a life that you're able to control, so that you don't become this needy girlfriend, this clingy girlfriend that is just touchy touchy and wants him to be around all the time. So you have to have your own life, you have to have your own business going, you have to be grinding in your own way, doing your own thing, so that you don't have to feel the need to need this boyfriend or girlfriend all the time. The fifth and final mistake that we make when we're dating is that we not only forget ourselves, but we begin to compromise our standards. We begin to let this person kind of take over our lives. Whatever they think, we think the same. Even sometimes when you don't agree to what they're saying, but simply because you want to make them happy, you forget to stand your ground and really voice out your opinion. So sometimes you have to be assertive. Tell them you don't like what they're doing. You don't like the way they're addressing certain issues. You don't like the way how they run away from actually attacking issues head on or discussing issues head on. And sometimes we just get so buried in that relationship that we forget who we are in Christ, who you are as an individual, and what you stand for, what you believe in, simply because you want to make this person happy. So it is my hope and my desire that we do not make these particular mistakes when we get into relationships. If we are able to communicate, if we are able to love one another, if everything is just brought to the table, that really makes it very, very, very easy to relate to this person. You don't have to be afraid to voice out your opinions to them. You still have to stand your ground. You still have to be able to stand for what you believe in despite being in a relationship. I want to thank you so much for watching, for commenting, and for subscribing to this channel. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Till then, bye.